Hey guys, it's me, Surin, back with another video for you. It is Thursday, and hopefully I can get this video up the same day, especially because this is something that's kind of recent, and I want you guys to be able to see this video while everything's kind of still popping, you know. I might get kind of pissed, because I'm a little pissed off about this whole thing that this video is about, so just bear with me if I get a little agitated. I'm going to try to remain calm, but it's really hard. This video is about Vogue and the erasure of Black women in the media and kind of in society. And as you can see, I'm a Black woman, so this is something that I hold very near and dear because it is something that I deal with every day, that I see every day, that just really affects me. So recently, if not yesterday, the day before, the 9th, I believe, Vogue ran an article talking about it's officially the era of the big butts, the big old fat booties. Vogue basically ran an article saying like the era of the big fat ass is upon us. That's not literally what it said. I'm gonna link to the article, but please don't click on it or read it. I don't want you guys to give them any clicks. But I'm going to link it. It's called something like that. Welcome to the era of the fat asses. We'll call it that. And the article kind of goes on to outline the rise of the illustrious fat ass kind of to mainstream, to prominence in mainstream culture and in pop culture. And they managed to completely leave out Black women. Completely. They pretty much credit fat ass breaking into the mainstream with Kim Kardashian and the albino kangaroo, that white rapper with the big fat ass, dating the corny basketball player whose names I will not mention here. As you guys know, they will not be named ever, and these videos are on my sites. The albino kangaroo and Kim Kardashian. And they also give a huge credit to Jennifer Lopez, which, in her defense, Jennifer Lopez did do a lot to kind of bring big butts to the mainstream. And of course, by mainstream, we mean white people, right? Because Kim Kardashian, look at that. Because Jennifer Lopez was a huge breakout crossover star into the mainstream, into movies. You know, she wasn't just an urban star. White people kind of decided that they loved Jennifer Lopez, especially when she got engaged to like Ben Affleck. Like, white people really became aware of her. She was on American Idol, you know, white people love her, right? Jennifer Lopez is like, you know, when white people go to like a Mexican restaurant and they order like the hot salsa and they feel like they're doing something because they're like, oh yeah, like I'm bold, like I'm wild, I'm crazy. Jennifer Lopez is like their way to like dip their toe in the urban pool without having to completely dive in and jump in. So the article basically credits Jennifer Lopez and her butt with kind of starting the whole, you know, the rise of asses into covetable assets, haha, pun intended. And then it kind of goes on to say, you know, almost like Jennifer Lopez will say she sowed the seeds, and then they're trying to say Kim Kardashian just like came along and watered them, and then like here come the plants and here come the blooms and here come the flowers, and the flowers are the albino kangaroo. Miley Cyrus is mentioned, and Miley Cyrus has a negative ass. That bitch has a Hank Hill booty. If you don't know what a Hank Hill booty is, please Google it, cause no. They mention, you know, a bunch of just other, Ariana Grande is mentioned, like basically saying how butts have become a mainstream trend, and curves and curvy bodies have just become, you know, we're in the age of the booty, the era of the booty, and like booties are popping right now, basically. And this article really offended a lot of people because, first of all, they hardly mention any Black women. I want to say they mentioned Beyonce, like, and it's in passing. It says something like, even though butts. It says something like, but I'm not going to read it. I'm not clicking on the link anymore. Like, I'm just going to paraphrase. Sorry. I know I normally am better, but not today. It said something like, it mentioned Beyonce in passing. Like, butts have always kind of hovered on the edges of our collective consciousness. We all knew the song Bootylicious, Destiny's Child. And it said something like Beyonce's old group, which I personally took offense because I'm like a hardcore Destiny's Child fan, and you're not going to do Kelly and Michelle like that, talking about Beyonce's old group. But that's neither here nor there. It said something like, I told you guys I'm going to get hot talking about this. It said something like, oh, butts hovered on the edge of our collective consciousness. We all knew the song Bootylicious, which came out in 2002, and, we all kind of like had an idea about butts, but remember back in the day, butts were something that nobody wanted. We would all go to the gym to like work out, to get like tight asses. Nobody wanted a fat ass. And like now, butts have like exploded into mainstream consciousness thanks to Miley Cyrus twerking, and Jennifer Lopez and her butt, and the albino kangaroo, and Kim Kardashian and her reality show. And what they managed to do, and why people and black women are so offended, is completely remove black women from this conversation about big butts, which is a major, trait of black women, for the most part. Of course, not every black woman has a big butt, just like, of course, not every white woman has a flat butt. But generally speaking, there are certain traits, ethnic traits, that black women have, that black people have. My husband's black, he got a big butt. Butt's bigger than mine. Like, it's just certain traits that we have, bigger lips, higher cheekbones, we have melanin, we have big butts, high, round, firm butts, And if you go even back in history, Sarah Bartman, I'll try to include some links, or you can Google her name, she was kind of seen as like this sideshow freak for her body, because when they brought her over to this country, the white people living here had never seen anything like her before. This like, big butt, these like big boobs. She was literally put on display as like a sideshow freak, and people would come and watch her. And then after she died, they preserved her body so people could continue to look at it. It was like really grotesque. And Vogue doesn't take, I understand that Vogue is a fashion magazine, it's fun, it's like pop culture and this and that, but they don't take any type of historical, context into their article. There's nothing about, black women, women of color have always had curves and existed outside of the mainstream, I think Nicki Minaj is mentioned in passing. It says something like, oh, her newest track, Anaconda, like, alludes to this like explosion of like butts in the mainstream, because at the end she says something like, I got a big fat ass, fuck them skinny bitches. And they kind of use that as an example of like the tide kind of turning against skinny women, and kind of, butts and like curves becoming the norm. And it's kind of like, okay, but Vogue, how you gonna mention Anaconda, but you're not gonna mention Baby Got Back, which she very prominently sampled, which came out in the late 80s, early 90s, which was a black man talking about the curves of black women, the butts of black women. He even has a line in the song saying, like, the magazine says you're fat. Well, I'm not down with that. Like, I need a sister, I want to get with ya, red beans and rice, didn't miss her. But anyways, yeah, so it's like, white people for a very long time told us we were fat, and by us, I mean black women, told us we were fat, our bodies were grotesque, we needed to lose weight, we were disgusting, we were sloppy, we were nasty, they literally looked at us like sideshow freaks like Sarah Bartman. And then here comes these white women, these fair-skinned women. I personally say Kim Kardashian is a white woman. I know other people won't agree with that, but that's just me personally. Here come these white women, the albino kangaroos, the Miley Cyruses, the Kims. There's this chick on Instagram, they call her like the queen of the butt selfie. Vanity Fair put her in their magazine and named her the queen of the asses, some white chick. Like, Black chicks have been doing this for years. We've had fat asses for years. We've been taking pictures of our fat asses and putting them up on Instagram since Instagram started, you know? Strippers have had huge asses for years. Like, this is the way our bodies naturally come, and you have bitches that have to come and, like, work out. I'm so sorry. I hate to use that word. I know a lot of people find it offensive, but like I said, I'm kind of pissed right now. You have these, like, people, chicks, women, whatever, that come, and, you know, the white chick that they had in the Vanity Fair article says she does, like, thousands of squats to, like, get her fat butt. They will put her in Vanity Fair, but they wouldn't put someone that has a naturally fat butt in Vanity Fair, you know? White people make fun of Serena Williams for her shape and the clothes that she wears, you know, and her butt and her boobs. Some fucking white chick tennis player bitch went out there with, like, these, like, pads out to here and, like, a butt out to here, making fun of her, making racist jokes about her and her body. And now all of a sudden, white people have decided that a trait, a look that was for us, for black people, white people have suddenly decided that that's cool. So now all of a sudden, that's the in thing. That's what they're writing about in the magazines. And instead of recognizing that this is something that black women have naturally and that came from us, they completely erase us. They erase us from the conversation. And that's very common. You know, looking through Fashion Week, it's New York Fashion Week right now. What are we seeing all over? What is a major hair trend? Fucking zigzag parts and baby hairs. PSA to any... What is on my face? Sorry, guys. There's something on my face. It's so distracting. Something white. There we go. I got it. Sorry. PSA. Any white people watching this video, you do not have baby hairs. Okay? No. You don't have baby hairs. Okay? I have baby... You see these little hairs? You see these? See those? Those are baby hairs, white people. Making a part, taking some brown gel, and sliding your crusty tendrils across your forehead and down the side of your head and down your chin. That's not baby hair. That's not what baby hair is. That's not the point of baby hair. Y'all are bastardizing baby hair, okay? They've made baby hairs, which is, you know, a black thing, an ethnic thing, something that we were doing back in the 90s and the early 2000s, gelling baby hair down, like Chili did that, you know. Zigzag parts, which every black girl has had at one point or another in her life. They're making these things trends. They're making these things hot trends, you know. One of the other little Jenner bitches, Kardashian girls, I don't know which one, had braids, cornrows. They wrote a whole spread about her edgy new take on braids, like this bitch invented fucking cornrows. Like, no, like, we've been doing that. We've been doing it. It's cultural appropriation, you know? It's like this erasure of black culture, because I know I'm gonna have well, it's culture, it's for everyone. How do you decide what's not okay and what is okay? People aren't mad that white women want to have fat asses. People aren't mad that white chicks have decided they wanted to twerk. People aren't mad that white women have decided they want to fucking gel their hair to their foreheads and zigzag part it. People aren't mad that bitches... I'm so sorry, I keep saying that. That white women have decided to make huge, you know, side braids. Black people and black women are not mad that you guys have decided that you want to do these things. If you want to do these things, great. We know these things are cool. We did it. Like, we know. But if you're going to do it, credit it, right? You can't plagiarize papers in college. You can't just fucking take somebody else's shit and say it's yours and slap your name on it and say, I wrote this. You'll get kicked out of school, right? There's an honor code. There's just an honor code in general. There should be an honor code in life. There should be an honor code in pop culture, in fashion, in the arts, you know? And these things that, in these mediums that rely so heavily on creativity and creative genius and doing the next new hot fresh thing, there should be an honor code, and there is none, right? They steal, they plagiarize, they appropriate, and then Vogue writes articles like we're in the era of the big booty, and they name 3 white women as the women that made booties hot, as the women that ushered booties in. They completely erase black women from the conversation. And this is not just in fashion. The erasure of black women happens everywhere, you know. I read a really amazing article, and I'll try to find links It was on Tumblr, so if you don't save that stuff immediately, it kind of like disappears into the abyss. But it said something like 24,000 black women are missing in the United States right now at this moment. At least 24,000. We don't hear anything about them. They're not on the news. They're not on the internet. They're not being covered anywhere. But one white girl goes missing like Natalie Holloway and the whole world has to end. Why do I even know her name? Why do I even know her name? Because she was all over the news. She was all over everywhere. Find Natalie, find Natalie, find Natalie. But there's 24,000 at least black women that have been reported. We're not even including people that haven't been reported. Missing in the U.S. right now and nobody cares, When we talk about police brutality and systematic racism and systematic oppression, we're always talking about men, black men being murdered, black men being gunned down. The stories and the trials and the cases that become huge and garner national attention are always about men. They're hardly ever about women. And black women are just erased. It's like we don't exist. It's like we don't matter. No one cares. No one cares about our contributions to society. No one cares about our contributions to culture. No one cares about the dangers that we face, the injustices, the racism. We're being shot and murdered and kidnapped and appropriated and stolen, just like everyone else, and literally no one cares. We're literally erased, Black men are kind of rising to a much more prominent level in society, and especially in pop culture. You have a ton of like black leading A-list actors right now. Idris Elba, Denzel Washington, of course, Will Smith, of course. You have Michael B. Jordan, who I love. He's an amazing up-and-coming actor. I don't want to mangle his name, so I'll just say the leading man from 12 Years a Slave, Chiwetel. I'm horrible and I'm so sorry. And, kind of compare that against the black female leads and the black female actresses, and there's so few. And the ones that are, they're hardly getting any mainstream roles. They have to appear in the black movie, Then the new interpretation of Annie that's coming out, I want to see it, but I hate that Rose Byrne is playing his assistant / love interest. Like, they couldn't get a black actress, and that's happening a lot now. So it just sucks. It's like, and it makes me so angry because it's like, I'm black. I'm a black woman. I'm here. I exist. I'm real. How am I being erased? And I love fashion and I love pop culture and I love movies and I love film and I love TV. I love the arts. I love media. And it's just like, I love books. I love to read. I don't see myself reflected anywhere. I don't see myself, period. I'm literally invisible. Like, black women are invisible in this country, and it's sick. It's fucking disgusting. It, like, really infuriates me. And kind of going back to the Vogue article, it blew up Black Twitter, of course. The hashtag Vogue articles was launched, and there were some just really brilliant tweets. I'll include some links. Some of my favorites were, like, Vogue articles, how Adele created Negro spirituals, which I love that one because I don't listen to Adele. I can't listen to her. I can't get into her. And that's one of the main reasons why people ask me, why don't I listen to Adele? Why don't I like Adele? And one of the things I say is because she sounds like she's trying to sound black, and I just can't get down with it. Like, she has Larry Bird syndrome, right? She's a white chick doing shit that black chicks been doing, but she's getting all this praise because she's white, so it's different. And that's what we're talking about, right? Things that are the norm for black people, you slap some white skin and some blonde hair on it and you call it something else, and all of a sudden it's different and it's new and it's fresh and it's amazing. Because you've literally been ignoring it in black people for so long. And this is racism. This is another form of racism. This is another form of white privilege, of elevating white people to a certain place. And I kind of, I mentioned something like this in my last video about how you kind of have to shed your color and aspire to whiteness to be noticed. And that's exactly what this is. Fat asses on black women is not noticed. It's nothing. Fat asses on white women twerking like Miley Cyrus, that's new. That's something they've never seen before, They even have a term for it, Columbusing, right? Christopher Columbus. They credit him with discovering America, but he got here and people were already living here. Niggas was already, not niggas, clearly, but the Native Americans were already living here. So how did he discover it? He didn't discover it. He co-opted it from the people that were already living here. But what do they teach us in school? That he discovered it, that we're supposed to celebrate him as a great American hero, Columbusing. They're Columbusing fat asses. Fat asses been here. Fat asses didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on fat asses. They've been here. We've been here. But now that white people have decided they want to climb on board the fat ass train, they created it. They call themselves the creators. And I actually saw an amazing, brilliant comment that I'm going to try to find on one of these links. And now my computer's going to act crazy, and I know my video is going to act crazy too. So bear with me. There it is. So someone left a comment on one of these because Vogue's getting blasted. There's all type of think pieces going around right now. Washington Post, Jezebel, TheRoot.com. I'll include some links. Go read all of them. Somebody left a comment that said, white people take everything. And then they claim they created it. Rap was trash. Then it became artistic expression with Eminem. Rock was devil music. Uh-oh, Elvis is here. Fat ass is nasty. Oh, wait, Kim Kardashian and Iggy. That's the whole thing. Like, that's the whole thing, right? It's that black people do something, and then white people come, and they literally take it. They steal it. They claim it. They name it. They slap some blonde hair and some pale skin on it, and they call it something else, and they say they created it, okay? They, and half the time, 9 times out of 10, the thing that we created was born out of a need to create our own spaces and to create our own music and to kind of just create our own style and create our own culture, because we were not allowed in your culture. We were not allowed in white culture, right? We were not allowed in the mainstream culture for a long time. So we had to create our own shit. And then white people decide, that shit looks kind of cool. And they come in and take it. This is going to sound really random, but one of my favorite episodes of Hey Arnold is The Vacant Lot, where the kids see the lot across the street, they clean it all up, they take all the garbage and all the crap out of it, and they turn it into the baseball field, Gerald Field. And then once the adults see how it looks when it's cleaned up and nice, they come and they take it and they kick the kids out, and they are planting plants there and raising chickens there, they're playing checkers there, and then the kids are trying to play baseball, and the grown-ups literally scream at them like, you gotta get out of here, this is not a baseball field. And it's like, my nigga, it was a baseball field. Like, they cleaned it up, they did that. You guys didn't even see that. They were invisible to you because they're children. And it's the same thing with us. It's like we're invisible to them because we're black and they're white. They feel like they can just come in and take it, and they don't have to give any type of credit to anybody because the white people came, so it's theirs now. They Columbused it, with white women saying they have like an inner angry black woman. This is a trend. This is something that's like going around on Twitter. They're saying like, oh, my inner angry black woman gotta go to Wendy's and watch 16 and Pregnant and hold my earrings and this and that. Kathy Griffin, who's a white piece of shit, trash, I can't stand her. She has a whole special called like Angry Black Woman or something like that. Like, no. Black women are not just angry. We're not stereotypes. We're not tropes. We're not caricatures. We're not just angry for no reason just because we fucking feel like waking up and being pissed that day. Like, we have shit to be angry about. Like I just said, Black people as a whole, black culture, we created our own culture. We created our own spaces as a safe space for ourselves because we were not allowed in your space. We were not allowed in white spaces. So we had to create our own spaces. And it's the same thing with black women. We're angry because we had to build up this protection against people telling us we're ugly, we have ugly hair, we have ugly dark skin, we're too loud, we're too this, our bodies are ugly, our fat asses are nasty, they're thick, they're ugly, they're disgusting, they're sloppy. So we built up this protection for ourselves and for our sisters, and that kind of got labeled as the angry black woman, independent, don't need no man trope. And now white women have decided that's funny, and I have my angry black woman. I got my angry black woman on at the fucking post office the other day. The albino kangaroo put some shit there, some tweet talking about, some Chinese chick, she's sitting in my spot on the airplane talking about she don't speak English. Well, bitch, you gonna learn today. You gonna know English today. Like, you're not black. You're not black. You don't have an angry black woman inside of you. You don't understand why we talk the way we talk, why we do the things that we do, the slang that we use, the way that we dress, the way we do our hair. Like, y'all don't get it. You see it from the outside looking in, but you don't understand what went into that culture or why we created it. White women all of a sudden wanted to be included in the natural hair movement, which we created because the whole entire hair movement, system, products, everything in the magazines, the salons, the hairstyles, everything was literally catered towards you, towards white women. So we created our own thing with the natural hair care movement, and now you guys want to cry and whine talking about you're being excluded and it isn't fair, and you want to be a part of the natural hair movement. You have your own thing. It was created for you. The world revolves around you. The fashion, the movies, the TV, the hair, the styles, the books, everything revolves around you, around white people. So when we black people, and especially black women, create our own thing for us, you have no right to feel excluded. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's insane, you know? And it just makes me so, so angry, furious, right? Like, where did baby hair even come from? Where did gelling down your baby hair even come from? You know where it came from? It came from getting a perm, because you've been told your whole life that your natural hair is nappy and ugly. So you get a perm. The perm does not catch your baby hairs in the front. White people, PSA, y'all don't have baby hairs, okay? Parting your straight hair in the front and fucking using brown gel to gel that shit down on your forehead and on your cheek that's not baby hairs. That's not how it works. These little fine hairs in the front, these are baby hairs. These are the hairs that you don't perm, that you can't perm. They're too fine. They're baby hairs. They're your little baby, your baby hairs, your immature hairs. They're not your fully grown mature hairs. You can't perm them. So when you perm your hair to straighten it, because you've been told your whole life that your natural hair texture is disgusting, you have your baby hairs in the front that you can't catch. So when you put your hair back or up, you have your little curly fuzzies in the front. So what do? You take water and gel, you take a brush, you gel them down so they lie smooth and flat to look like what? White people hair! Like, y'all are the reason that we do these things. Then you want to come along and try to co-opt it and take it and say that you created it as a style and as a trend. Like, it's levels to this shit. Like, race and racism and white privilege and subjugation and oppression and the shit that y'all do to us is apparent in everything that we do. And then y'all try to come back and say you feel some type of way and you're excluded and it's not fair, and you either A, want to be included, or B, you just come take the shit, you snatch it, you claim that y'all made it. It's crazy. Like, white people are so fucked up. Like, it's just nuts. And I'm so sorry. I know this video is like really long and angry, and I'm rambling, and maybe I'll make a part 2 that's calmer and more collected. But it's just like, I read this stuff and it infuriates me, and it just makes me feel like, how can I keep on living? How can I keep on living in this country and even on this planet and in this society that's like so racist and so steeped in racism literally everywhere I turn, you know? And then it's like, white people have the privilege of being able to say they don't see race. Race is not prevalent. Race is prevalent in everything that I do and in everything that I see, and everywhere I turn around. There's Vogue articles being written about how white women created baby hairs and zigzag parts and fat asses. And then I turn to the black community, and I have black men telling me that I'm just an angry, bitter black bitch mad because white girls have fat asses. Even though, I'm out here fucking protesting and raising money and doing all this stuff for black men and for Mike Brown. But where are the people looking for the 24,000 black girls that are missing? It's just so hard sometimes. So difficult, So it's just to all my sisters, my black women, I know that women, and especially white women, white feminists, love to teach solidarity between just the genders, but I'm talking just specifically to black women, my sisters. I feel for you. I love you so much. I'm here for you. I know how hard it is and what we're dealing with every day. I'm right there in the trenches with you, and it just sucks, man. It just fucking sucks. This world, this whole world, energy, life, it's just trash. And I know my videos are normally not like this. There's a lot of cursing and a lot of emotion. So just please bear with me. If you watched the whole thing, kudos to you, because you're amazing. This is more, I guess, a rant vent video than anything else. Maybe I'll make another. If you guys feel like this one was not clear, maybe I'll make another one kind of going more in depth about cultural appropriation. Maybe I'll make some notes or something so I can stay on track. This was just like off top, basically a reaction video to that Vogue article, I guess. So anyone that watched this, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I love you guys so much. As always, it was food for thought, hopefully. Sorry, I curse so much. I love you guys, especially my black women, my black sisters. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.